I feel like I should be tracking my progress. And yeah, I'm at work right now. I don't give a fuck. No fucks are given right now. My boss could give a fuck less also. She's like, you have an attitude, go do something with it. True. Let's see. I'm like out there, I'm telling people, I'm like, don't worry, my attitude is not directed at you, I swear to God. Being really nice to people, I feel like, also, though, so for how I'm doing is crazy. I have so much energy today. So, I'm trying to learn Lake of Fire. I'm definitely giving myself, like, a vibe. I'm annoying myself. So I've learned F sharp, down, down, up, up, or no, down, down, up, down, and then it goes into E really quick. And my struggle, right, is this E chord on the ukulele. It's played open, right, and it's like all three of my fingers on one little guy there. How do you guys do that? How do you, especially men, how do you fit your big fucking fingers in the one little guy like that? And my teacher was like, you know, I don't have a ukulele teacher, I have a guitar teacher. My guitar teacher was like, get used to it. He was like, you just do finger exercises and eventually your fingers become smaller with each other. I don't know, that makes no sense. So yeah, so we went into F sharp. We've already forgotten what that is. Oh, no, I haven't actually. Okay, so this crazy also proves how quickly I learn things and how quickly I forget them. If I practice this every day, I'm sure it'll stick in my brain because I can remember numbers from like years ago. Alright, so F sharp. Look at me. I already remembered it. I just learned it 2 seconds ago. So I did a tab for Lake of Fire with the ukulele. Now, I'm not completely musically uninclined. I can pick up an instrument randomly and just start, like, fucking with it, and I can make something happen or sound like something. So if you look through my old my old Instagram videos, you'll see Lake of Fire by Nirvana, and that's just me, like, making up my own, like, thing for it, and it's just, like, a simple tab. So if you want to learn a simple tab, I'm great at coming up with random bullshit that sounds similar. So, okay, back to what I was doing. So, and then this is where I fuck it up. It's like, how do you do that so fast? You have to have all three of these fingers. Oh, because I'm using the wrong fingers anyways. So I want all three of these fingers and then this finger here. So I want to hit that twice. So it's F sharp, which is, I'm going to keep fucking that up. F sharp, which is, and then E. Oh, fuck, I keep doing it. I'm like, bitch, just remember not to put all your fucking fingers, or not to move your fucking pointer finger down. I need to be moving my finger. Okay, so let's try that one more time. Oh. I got scared. That doesn't sound right. I swear it doesn't. That's what he's doing, but it doesn't sound correct. He starts off. I'm gonna keep doing it. I know it. I know that. You like my turkey noises? I make turkey noises when I'm stressed out. I haven't showered, can you tell? Alright, let's see. Tell the internet you haven't showered today. Yeah. Ah! I hate the way that sounds. He's lying. He be lying. I'm watching some guy do this. See, he's so fast. Do 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 do. I'm like, bitch, how? My finger placements just need to get, like, way better. It really does. It's a lot of the, like, I don't think I be using the right fingers for stuff, you know? Like, I feel like if I use these fingers, and then just come down a half step. Half step is gonna be, like, my word of the day today. And the only reason I even have this out is because I keep hearing stuff in my head. And I was making something up earlier, and I think it's like I could just make up my own shit based on chords that were like easier. Or like I watch people, they play songs sometimes and they'll move their fingers so slowly. They're like, and I'm like, what are you doing right now? Like, what are you playing that's so slow? And I'm like, I could like look up like easy songs to learn on the ukulele. But then I feel like I'm robbing myself almost. I feel like I look so dirty. I feel like I'm robbing myself almost when I do that. And because I'll never want to learn an easy song. Like, I'll never want to learn, like, I'm gross. I never want to learn, like, something boring. I'm not like that. I like to play, like, I want to learn, like, Green Day. You know, like, Time of Your Life. Like, so take the photographs and still frames in your mind. If you don't know this, you should know it. I've been telling everybody because I feel like it's such a flex and no one treats it as a flex it is. I was once in a Green Day cover band. I was the singer. And I'm actually not bad at doing that. And so if you want to be in a Green Day cover band and just play guitar for me, I would appreciate you. Wholly. And I'm like, maybe that's what I should look up. But I'm like, no, focus on like a fire, do your job. This is really just an entertainment video for you guys. I've had a really rough week. And I know I have not posted. I know that I have not posted, like videos in so long. And I know that too because one of you guys reached out to me recently. And I love when you guys do that. It makes me feel famous. And you were like, are you okay? You're not creating videos anymore. That sounds better without the drop for... they're like, are you feeling okay? You're not creating videos anymore. I haven't seen you, I haven't heard from you in a while. What's going on? You know, are you still married? And all this stuff. And I just love it when you guys do that. Like, I think that's so cool. Like, who cares about me and my life updates? I don't know. Nobody. Like, that's so weird to me. Oh my god, I, like, did it that time. That was crazy. It was, like, a lot easier. See, if I just keep doing it, it's just gonna get easier. It's like, he does, 1, 2, motherfucker. I am a cat. And you will respect my authority. I did just spit, I don't even care. This is my desk. No, it's not. My desk is upstairs, actually. This desk belongs to all of us, and I've been, like, super fucking sick. And I just keep going all over this fucking desk. Fuck this desk. Where do bad folks go when they die? They don't go to heaven where the angels fly. That's really hard to sing when you're sick, actually. Oh my god. I never realized how much of that how much I feel in my nose. I'm not gonna lie, I don't sing when I'm sick. I'm not like, that's not my thing. I'm not a sick singer. I'm a person who sings literally 24/7. I sing what I'm doing. That just does not sound right to me. Like, he's like, no, that's what it is, but it doesn't sound right. F sharp and the E and the A. Yeah? Am I not, what am I doing wrong? Also, I'm looking at his finger placements for E, and it doesn't look the same. It actually looks like he's grabbing the top string with his thumb, and then using 2 strings here, like that, and then a pointer finger here. You know, I never would have thought to use my thumb for that. And that's like a whole extra finger that we just threw in there, and it like works, I guess. So let's try it with that. Let's do that. Honestly, a lot easier for finger placement, but still like not sounding like a fire. I feel like I'm gonna pull up my old tab and see what it was. I don't even remember. It was like, I don't even remember. I was literally just playing around with my ukulele, and I was like, that doesn't make. My ukulele is tuned differently. I originally had it tuned for, what was it? I don't remember now. C major. And now I have it tuned at F, A sharp, D, G. I know standard is not that. Why did I do that? I don't know. Maybe that's why it doesn't sound right. Obviously, that's why it doesn't sound right. I'm sure his is in standard tuning. I didn't even check, to be honest. But yeah, so I could retune it. I only have like 5 minutes left in my lunch break. And that's why I should have been a drummer. But, you know, I wanted to be in band so fucking bad. And I was gonna play the flute, like, and there was this whole like thing that my school had, and it brought all the parents in, and they had us try out instruments, and then they like set us up with them. And it was like, I think $900 or something, maybe I'm wrong, or you could rent one. And I was like, oh, like, I'll just do that. And my parents were like, no, like, you're irresponsible, you can't have that. And it's crazy because, like, band is something that, like, colleges look at. It's something that, like, looks good to schools. Extracurriculars, academics, having these skills, these talents, and learning them when you're young is very important. And had I learned music theory as a child and, like, gotten to do the things that I wanted to do, because I was in choir without permission, and I was in drama club without permission, and I would lie. I would sneak out to stuff. Like, I would wholeheartedly be like, oh, I'm going to tennis practice, and I would go to the talent show. And I was grounded a lot growing up, absolutely, so I got really creative in how I was going to take care of myself and meet my needs and the things that I wanted, and I really wanted to go to Bradley, and I really wish still that I had. And this is why I'm going back to school, guys. And there's so many things that I've wanted to do my whole life, and I thought I would have more time to go to school and keep going to school and keep doing these things, but I never got to go to college. And because of that, I never got my, like, stuff out of the way. I never got a core thing. I never picked a major or anything. I just did skill trades, like graphic design, which I fucking hated because I wanted to be a radio broadcaster, but my parents forced me to do graphic design. I fucking hated it. Dropped out. Then I became an engineer, worked at Detroit Diesel, lost my job. I got laid off during COVID. And then it was just like, I was like, all right, let's go back to school. And everybody's like, you should go to beauty school. It'll only take a year, and it'll be something for you to do while you go back to regular school. I did that. It took 2 years because of COVID, and it legitimately just threw off my whole, like, life. And during that time, I was like, wow, my marriage is not good. And my life is garbage. I hate it. I want to travel, haven't. There's so many things that I want to do with my life, and I haven't done them. So I got a divorce. And my credit, my money, everything was destroyed after that. He never gave me money to help me out or, like, held up his end at the end, which is what it is, but it sucks. And I didn't have the money to go get a lawyer or, like, fight for our divorce, so we just did it amicably, and we sold the house and split it, but then I had to pay off my car, and then I got into a really bad car accident. I'm alive, though. I did total my vehicle, but it's still running. I got it repaired, which was really stupid. I spent $5,000 on it. I should have just bought another RV or something, because I still want to travel, but I didn't do that. And now I'm finally going back to school, but there's still so many things that I just haven't gotten to try yet. Like, I want to do psychology. I want to do architecture. I love building shit with my hands, especially. I would love to go back to doing pottery. I've been doing pottery on the side. It kind of has been taking it's kind of taken a back burner to the rest of my life currently, but it is something that I started doing again, and I'm really proud of it. I started doing bookmarks, and I recently did an Iron Man bookmark, and I was so fucking proud of it, and then my cat knocked it off the table, and it got destroyed, and I was making the friend's couch with it, and I had them both in the same baggie, and I was like, are you tripping right now? Because the friend's couch was for my friend for her birthday. And, so I'm back into pottery. I'm super excited about that. I definitely want to keep doing that. Today I picked up my ukulele for the first time again. I do want to do music. I think for sure I want to do sound. I would love to still be a radio broadcaster, talk about my friends on the radio, have my own radio station that they all play on, that I can make choices as to what's going to play on that station. Like, I'd love to have my own local variety station where, I mean, I don't want to give out my ideas on the internet, but hell, we're doing it. I've already done it a million times.
Ricky, it seems fine. Someone's using it right now.
But, like, my biggest dream and goal is to be able to have my own radio station and maybe even be a producer and help people, like, realize their dreams. But I can't do that if I can't even understand music my fucking self. I'm really good with technology and stuff like that, so I'm like, it's something I could definitely do and would like to get more into. So I'm like, that's something I want to do. Architecture, psychology, these are all really great fields, and I can't really pick one, so I'm trying to pick a school that kind of envelops all of those, and I have. I was supposed to finish my test this week. I took the other 2 tests 2 weeks ago, and I did really well, but I didn't do great on my math test. I wanted to restudy for that and take it again, so I'm doing that this week. Because I got sick this week, that was just passing, and I also had vacation time I used, and I wanted to go to do this festival thing, which I didn't end up doing. I'm also really itchy. I don't know if you can tell, I keep getting red. It's because I didn't sleep last night, and my face, I have something called I think it's called hyperpigmentation, and it's where I get these, like, splotches. I get splotches of red on my face, but I have actual permanent splotches on my legs and my butt of, like, just differently colored skin. The biggest one I have is down here on my leg, and that's why I got the tattoo where I did, because it's just, like, this really dark spot, and it always has been. But, like, my face will get really red and itchy and stuff, especially if I don't sleep right or, like, eat right. I haven't eaten shit today. Also, fuck ice. I do poetry now, so you guys can come catch me if you're in, you know, my neck of the woods. I know at least the people who reached out to me and asked me for this update. If you check out my neck of the woods, and I know you asked me for this like a few weeks ago, but I'm doing it now. It is what it is. If you're in my neck of the woods, check out Ghostlight. It's a bar. I perform there. I'll be there. I like performing poetry there. I'm also doing a huge poetry performance in May, which is partly why I would like to learn the ukulele, because if I could somehow do my uke song while I'm there, that would make me really happy. The one that's like do 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 do, and it's like at times I wonder what it would be like to have a positive outlook on life, surrounded by people who truly cared for me. And sorry, again, sick, like I said. If you guys want to check that out, definitely keep updated. You can follow me on Instagram at supreme.sabrine. I might not use YouTube that often anymore, but I am still always posting to that now. That's a newer thing I haven't gone on here and, like, talked about yet. I haven't been here for a while, and I'm really sorry about that, guys. I wish that was different, and the last couple times you saw me, I was pretty broken up. I am again, actually. The last time you saw me, I went through a situation that I have repeated. I repeated that situation this month, and I did the same thing, and so maybe that's why I'm like, you know what, let's get back to it, because, like, I feel broken again, but this time it's a little bit different, where I'm like, fuck the world. You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of like, man, like, this shit just keeps happening. And, like, I'm really trying to figure myself out. And I want to go back to school, so I'm like, I have all these things that I'm doing. I don't need a relationship, but I also really don't need someone to treat me like shit. And that's just for everybody. And I have this friend, and I was telling him this thing, and I really gotta eat that myself, which is that you can know where someone is and why they're doing something, but you should never have to tell them that. And you can't teach someone how to love you. You can't teach someone what they want or what might be good for them. You can't help someone. You can't grow with someone who doesn't want to. Or grow with you. They'll grow with somebody else, but they don't want to grow with you. They don't want to grow with you. You can't force people to do things. And even if you feel like you know that they're maybe scared or whatever feeling you might have about how they feel because they were a certain way towards you, and you think that, I know that this is how they felt. If they're not giving you what you deserve, point blank period, they've proven to you their point, which is that they will never give you what you deserve. They will never meet you where you need to be met. And you will always be coddling and fixing and helping them understand their emotions. But, like, honey, who's helping you? Honey, who's managing your emotions? And it's like your friends, the people in your life, your work, you're spilling into other places because your needs aren't getting met. And, so I don't know who needs to hear that lesson today. That's a nice lesson that I've learned recently, is that if you feel like you're giving a lot, if you are frustrated, if you feel like you don't have enough time for yourself, your needs aren't getting met, if something feels off, trust that. Even if they're like, but I really like you, I think we look really good together. Even if they're like telling you all of these things and they're saying all of these things and, they're like, oh, well, yeah, we can make another date. If you feel some way, if it's not lining up, if the proof is not in the pudding, leave before they have the opportunity to prove you that you're right, because it's gonna hurt. Not only will it'll hurt your ego, it'll hurt you because you'll be mad at yourself for not having trusted yourself in the first place. So do that, right? What are some other things I've been up to? Well, I've covered the pottery. My sister's in college. So fucking proud of that. I had to clock back in. I'm technically on the clock now, guys. So my sister went to college. I'm so fucking proud of that. I mean, she did it all herself. She did all of the work herself. But I like to think that having like someone there to like always give a shit, even if like it's not what she wants exactly, having someone that will take care of something if it needs to be taken care of, I think is a great thing to have. And she was always supported, and she always had things that I didn't have, and I always wanted to give her that, and I was able to. And regardless of anything that might happen, teenagers and whatever, I know that I fucked up, but I did it right. And as long as I fucked up to the point where you did good with your life and you got things that I didn't have, I think about that all the time, and I'm so proud of that. Like I love that for myself. And she got to a university, not just a college. She's going to university, baby. She got a fucking scholarship. Tennis, just she's so much like me, and it's crazy. I used to love tennis. And I used to love basketball. I used to love basketball. I was so good at basketball growing up. I had my own basketball net, and I was so excited to join the team. And I just didn't fit in with people. And it sucks because when you're on a team, if the team doesn't like you or want you around, you're not on the team. And left sports pretty early. Went to choir, drama, loved that shit. I'm still doing that stuff. I still want to be on Broadway one day. I don't know if that's going to happen. My choir voice, honestly, actually hasn't, changed. It's still there. I do a really mean Just Can't Wait to Be King by The Lion King. I'm really good at it. I do some other pretty good songs that I would love. I just would love to be on Broadway, you know, and I think that's too one of the things I was always like, I don't need an instrument when I'm on Broadway, it's all a cappella, you know, and I wanted to join an a cappella group, and there were so many things that I wanted to do growing up that I wasn't allowed to do. And so now that I'm an adult and my grandma's gone, I'm not taking care of her anymore, and you know, I felt like I loved her very much, but I felt like she always needed me here. So I used that as an excuse, I think, to stay. I need a drink. Stuck. And I used my sister, you know, growing up as a reason to stay stuck. And then, you know, they don't really need me anymore, obviously. And so I'm like, finally now I can focus on me, myself, and I'm getting to where I want to be. But I'm like 29, the clock is ticking, and there's just so fucking much. There's just so much. I want to move, and do I move to Arizona where it's warm because I love the heat and the ocean and the water, and I want to be near it every single day. I want to wake up and sit on my roof and meditate in the sun and have a great time? Or do I go to New York, and also because my family is in California, and I'd like to see them eventually, especially because I miss my grandma and my grandma's family. I'd like to be around them. But if I go to New York, I have friends there, and, you know, maybe I could realize a new dream again. But then I'm like, but how do I get there? Do I start school here and then transfer when I do well? And then maybe I can get a scholarship to, you know, NYU or something? Or do I just go? And then I have my cat, and it's like, okay, do I take my cat in the Jeep with me? Is that going to be enough room? Or do I give up my cat to somebody, a friend or something? And I really don't want to do that, but I also feel like I'm not home enough for her. Now I've gotten too personal. You asked updates. We're gonna reel it in a little bit. So I'm trying to choose on what it is that I want to do. Obviously, I want to keep my cat. I don't want to lose her. I didn't expect that I would be going through all of this. And I mean, I guess one day I hope that I would in some way, because I always wanted to grow and be a person. I wanted to be somebody. I wanted to build something and leave a legacy behind in my life. I didn't want to just come home every day, and as you guys know, like that was my thing. I was coming home every day. I was getting on the computer. And we're not talking like writing like I do now. Like now I get on the computer and I write for hours. I just write bullshit. I write about my past. I write about the future. I write about things that don't make sense. I write in circles. I write eulogies. I write letters to people I don't talk to anymore. Or I write letters to people who don't want to hear from me. But I do that. And before I wasn't. I was just getting on the computer. I was playing video games all day. I was watching TV and playing video games simultaneously. I was playing a video game on my computer, a game on my Switch, and had the TV on at the same time, while my ex did the exact same thing, and we didn't connect anymore. And it's like, I didn't want to be that. I had this dream when I graduated high school. When I graduated high school, I would get away from my family, and I would go to college in New York, and I would have all these things. And then I got into Bradley, and I was so excited, and I didn't get to go, and it pissed me off. And it's like, all that time that I look at, and where I just sat and wasted away and was depressed and doing what other people wanted me to do, and I look at it and people are like, you're so smart, you're so strong. I think that's why people get frustrated with me. You're so smart, you're so strong, you had your own house by this time, and you sold it, and you were married, and you got divorced, and you know, that's such a hard thing, and you did all these things, and it's so great. But I don't see it that way. I see it as having accomplished absolutely nothing. Yeah, I have a fuck ton of experience in life. Absolutely. And if you're getting married and buying a house, and, you know, I could probably help you with relationships, although don't ask me to do my own, because I'm fucking bad at it. But I have a lot of experience. That is something that I do have. That's something I carry with me. I guess that's something. But other than that, I've accomplished absolutely nothing. I never learned the guitar in that time. He wanted to start a band. I bought him a bass, and it was a beautiful bass, and I should have kept it. But, and now he's got a drum set, and I'm like, I wanted a drum set. I wanted to learn the drums my whole life. And, you know, and there's all these things that I want to do, and I keep thinking, like, and I do still care. I know people are going to see this and be like, you know, how is he? And I know you guys saw videos of him in the past. He's good. He's got a twisted ankle right now. Sometimes I'm mad at him. Sometimes I'm friendly with him. We do still love each other in a sense. And so we do still, we check up on each other every once in a while, and if we do something new, sometimes I'll be like, oh, this has happened, or I'll be like, oh, this happened. We just weren't good together, guys, and that's just the truth, unfortunately. I changed, and I didn't fit in the role that I was a part of anymore, and I didn't want to. I was a very weak, very sad, very miserable fucking person who was repeating the same pattern my whole life, and I felt like I was on this record that kept spinning, and I couldn't get off, and I had addressed this, and I had said that that's how I felt, and I felt like they were on that record with me, and I felt like they were fine with the record continuing to spin, and I wasn't, and I know that they aren't, because they weren't happy either. And you can love someone so much, it just sometimes isn't enough. There's so much people have so many problems, and when you put people with problems together who can't grow or move past them, and resentment builds, it's impossible to ever work through it. I am giving you now marriage advice. We're 30 minutes in. I only wanted this to be a 30-minute video. Also, I have things to do today, but I wanted to finish giving you guys updates. So what was I saying? So basically, we were gonna start a band. That never happened. And then I took my guitar when I left, and I played it a lot, and I was learning guitar. I was doing really well, and then I had that relationship in last year, and it really fucked with me. I don't even know now where I stand on that. I was a married person, and I got a divorce, and it was very fucking difficult, and that was the first real relationship I think I almost started, and it was like 3 months of just like consistent, like calling me every day, talking to me every day, just to disappear off the face of a road map on a 4-hour drive home was garbage. I mean, I should have been broken up with in person. I deserve that closure and everything that I did for that person. That's not fair. I deserve the truth. And they didn't tell me the truth. They just left me for another person that same day. And I did this exact same thing again. I didn't get the truth, and I was left for the exact same person on the exact same day. And that hurts. Like, it sucks. And I'm like, I don't know how these relationships were a year apart. I did the same thing, but I did. Divorce is messy, and it's hard, and I often don't know if the things that I have done and going through are because of my divorce, or if it's because it's like some pattern, or like if maybe I'm projecting. But I do know that I project depth into people. I'm a very 4-dimensional person. I have a lot of depth in my character. I used to be an emo kid growing up. I don't like the word emo, though. I used to say I was a punk rocker, and I still am. But I'm also a flower girl, and I like plants, and I like green, and I like blue. I used to love blue as my favorite color, but now it's also green, and I like red, and I like black, and I like... Some days I wake up and I want to dress like a boy, and some days I wake up and I want to dress like a girl. I have so many multitudes inside of me. I forgot, I lost my train of thought just now. But I have so many multitudes inside of me, and it's like... I've completely lost my train of thought. So let me move on. I just don't know what I want because of that also. And like, I know that I'm like... Oh, projecting depth. I have all these multitudes. So when I meet people, I have this presumption in my head sometimes that these people are going to be like me, that they're going to be in depth, that they're going to care a lot, that they're going to be super passionate, and that everything that they say is going to be something that they mean. Because everything that I say is something that I mean. And I'm a liar pathologically, so let me be very clear what that means. I am not a pathological liar in a bad sense. I'm one of those people that's like, the fish was this big. The fish was this big. It wasn't. It was this big. I just lied. But I'll often catch myself, and this is where I'm different than people. I'll be like, actually, let me rephrase that. I was just caught up in the moment. It was like this big. Or I'll be like, it just sounded better. Or, oh, I lied. I don't know why I did that. And or sometimes, like, when I'm upset, I'll say something in the moment and it not be entirely accurate, and that person will catch me, and I'll be like, that's not what I meant this, I'm just in the, I'm just moving through emotion right now, and I'm not thinking about what I'm saying, but you're right, I did say that, I meant this. It's easy to correct yourself, it's easy to be honest, and it's easy to show up as you are, to show up who you are, and it makes life easier. When people don't lie, when people don't play games, when people treat each other with respect and kindness, and they walk into everything open and new and willing and wanting to try, that's where growth happens, that's where change happens, that's where beauty happens. I mean, that's how the world moves forward. But when people lie, when people hold information to themselves, when, stuff doesn't always work, like, together, then you have people who get hurt, and people who feel off, and people who feel unaccepted. And it goes into, like, also, like, just being kind and accepting towards people, even people you don't understand, and things that they might want or do or need. It's not always your business. If it's not hurting you, it shouldn't bother you. And you don't have to approach people you don't like or agree with either. That's something I think needs to be learned wholeheartedly, is that, like, if you see someone post on the internet and they're like, I'm genderqueer, which I know people struggle with this idea, and it does not mean that it's not the same thing as a lot of other things. There are several different categories. Genderqueer is just somebody who doesn't conform with gender identity standards. So, like, because I'm a girl, I have to wear a dress. That's not something that goes through my brain. It's silly as fuck, the fact that we even label clothes male and female. You should just be able to wear what you want. And, for someone to see someone talking about that and be like, that's wrong, that person is bored and has nothing better to do with their time than approach someone that they have nothing in common with. Go be around people you like. And that's the other thing. Don't waste people's time. If you don't like people, if you don't want to be around someone, if you feel like it's not going to be a thing, don't waste people's time. If you have a relationship on the side, if you're talking to an ex, if you're not fully healed, don't waste people's time. Just show up as you are, be who you are, and that'll help you with everything in life. And it'll make your life easier and better. Okay, sorry. So anyways, that was my update. Hopefully I updated you guys on everything. I do have my own place now, and like I said, I am looking for either to get my own place and get a better job, or move into my Jeep and move. These are my two options. If I stay here, get a better job, get a place to live, I think that might be the better option. I can at least go to school for a little bit until I have enough, like, stuff to transfer, and then maybe that would help me. But I'm also just, like, Michigan for the longest time, and I think all of my friends and everyone who knows me, because of everything that's happened here, as much as I love it, and I love the Great Lakes, and I love summer here, this is not the place for me anymore. I am not, and I know I just gave away my state too to you guys. I am not, there's too much trauma here, and there's too many people who make me feel unsafe, and there's too many people that I run into, and having run into a girl that I knew, and she be someone that I get dumped for, especially someone who just didn't like me, and in the nicest way that I could say that, and I'm like, the fact that could happen to me, I need to get the fuck out of here. I need to not know people wherever the fuck I go. I need to reinvent myself and be a new person, because I've changed so much, and I'm tired of old me following everything around that I do, and I feel that way for some people in my life too, where I kind of like, I want to take them with me. I want to show them better. I want to open their lives the way that I've opened my own life, and that goes for my ex as well. Like I said, I do still have care and love for him, and I want so many great things for him, and I'm like, I hope, that me leaving would help him gain great things, and I knew that, he might meet somebody else, I might meet somebody else, but I just knew that I wanted us to be happy, And I have friends that I'm like, they do the same thing, and I want everyone to be happy, so I want to take people with me, but I'm like, I need to start over, and I need to do that like in a bad way. And I want to do my music, and I want to wake up in the sun, and I want to do all these things, and it's not happening here in Michigan. I mean, I've started something here in Michigan. I've definitely started building something here in Michigan. I'm working on that website. I want to start a podcast here. I want to like be on the radio, and I want to, because I want all of my friends to have a platform that they can perform on, and that is just theirs, and that I can support them on and talk about everything that I feel about when I see them and how great they are. And this one's like this, and I have a friend who reminds me of there you go, making my heart beat again. That's Sugarland. I have a friend, her voice reminds me of Sugarland. I think it's so pretty. I have this band that reminds me of like Fleetwood Mac. There's all these female bands too. I really want to showcase some all female bands. And I don't want to just be the stuff I like, though, like just punk rock. We'll have different days. Like I would have like punk rock Tuesdays, acoustic Sundays, like something like that, or like an hour where it's just that, and it's just local music, my friends and people that I know. And I can have people on to talk about, like I have comedian friends. I love to have them on and like do like their own like little interviews and stuff. Like there's so much that I want. And I'm like, I could do it here. I know I could, and I'm building something so beautiful, and I'm meeting all of these beautiful, wonderful people. There's one in my head in particular that I think of, that I see him everywhere I go. And he's always, I say beautiful, not like, I like this person and they look good. Beautiful as in like their soul, because every time I see them, they're supporting somebody else. They're producing for somebody else. They're filling in for somebody else's band. They're doing things just to be kind and helpful. And I ran into them the other day, and they were like, hey, how are you feeling, by the way, because I've been sick. And the fact that they even asked that question, I'm like, you care so much about so many people, and I want to give that back to my friends. And it's not just that particular friend. I mean, I have a very beautiful friend who checks in on me all the fucking time, and she's always like, how are you? Are you sleeping? And I'm like, I forgot to remind her to drink water. I'm going to text her that right now. But I made all these beautiful fucking friends, and I just want to, I want to create with them. They've inspired me so much to be me again, and to do what I want again, and to believe that I can actually fucking do it, because I've been doing this poetry, and if it wasn't for them, I mean, I would feel silly. I would feel stupid. I would feel like my poetry's not good. And I critique myself so fucking much. So when I get up on stage and they tell me afterwards that it's so good and they loved it, or they radiated with it, or they related to it in some way, it makes me feel so fucking good. And it makes me go, I can do this. I do have some sort of something. And I just have to keep trying and stop being so hard on myself, stop working so hard. Like, I've been working on this website, and I have finished it. And I keep telling people it's not finished, but it's finished. It's not finished, it's finished. I just have to finish plugging in a few different links that I wanted to put in, but it's finished. And I keep telling people it's not, and I haven't asked those people that I want the links from yet, because I'm so self-conscious about this site, and it just doesn't feel right to me. It does a little bit more now, but it just doesn't feel right to me, and I feel like I'm going to put it out there, and everyone's going to be like, wow, this looks like shit. It came out, and it's like not. But I'm like, they're not going to do that. They're going to be excited to see themselves. They're going to be excited to have this platform, and I want to give that, and I am so hard on myself sometimes. So I want to not do that anymore, and I want to do all these things, and I get wrapped up in these relationships, and it seems like it happens whenever I'm like really doing well, and then they set me back really far, because I'm the type of person who will give all of my energy to something. This is why I said, if you feel like you're losing all of your energy, if you feel like you're not taking care of the things that you want, because if somebody likes you, right, and they know that you're doing all of these things, they might ask you, hey, are you working on that today? Maybe you should, you haven't focused on that. Do you want to do that while you're here? Do you want to do that while we're hanging out? Let's pull it out. Let's work on it together. They're not always going to be doing their thing. You're not always going to be doing their thing, or making sure that their needs are met, or they feel good, or that they are going to continue to love you tomorrow, because they probably won't, and they probably don't. So take care of yourself first. I'm going to try to do that from now on. Next time I enter something, the second I start to feel off, even if I think it's in my head and I'm recreating some bullshit, I'm just going to leave, hopefully. And Like, I just want so much better for everyone in my life, including myself, because I'm tired of my friends having to hear me. I'm tired of hearing myself. I'm tired of being this person. And it's not even that I'm the same miserable person I was. I mean, at least now I make it fun. But, like, fuck, it's like I get away from the misery and I get away from being miserable, but life is just shitting. It shits, and it shits on everybody too. And like the economy is dropping and my phone bill went up to like $195 for one phone. I'm like, what the fuck? So I've stopped paying it. If you call me, you won't be able to reach me, because I've noticed that I can just use my messages whenever I have Wi-Fi, which is pretty much all the fucking time now. Why would I need my phone anymore? No one ever really calls me, and if they do, it's usually someone I'm talking to, and that's probably gonna manipulate me. So, I mean, for the best that I'll have a phone all the time? Maybe, yeah. It feels really good, actually. So, at first I was like, okay, I can't afford it, I'm gonna leave it off. But now I'm like, I could turn it back on. I don't want to. Is that toxic? I don't know. Maybe. And, so that's where I'm at right now. I'm living this life. And also just like $195 for a phone. I just can't justify that anymore. I can't justify wasting money on shit that's like unhealthy for you or like not good. Like I remember phones used to be so cool. Like I would just be like, it was just an extension of something. It was just something that was there sometimes because you had your iPod. I was on my iPod all the time. You had your phone. Sometimes people would call you, pick it up, you get a text, pick it up. Oh, Now you got Facebook and Instagram and everything else on there, and you pull up your phone for a text, and pretty soon you're scrolling. And that doom scroll is so fucking unhealthy. And let me tell you why. It's a dopamine sensor, and this is why people, I think, can't be in relationships for long anymore, and I think why people are so avoidant, is because we become so, as a society, so used to dopamine triggers because everything is bad, and everyone is bad. Everyone is miserable, regardless of what they say, regardless of them being happy. If you see someone constantly scrolling on their phone or dooming on their phone, they're not happy. It's a great distraction, it's a great tool, it's a great serotonin boost. And so when you don't like something, you just flip to the next one. And dating has become like that, where it's like, okay, well, I don't know if I like that. And instead of giving it another shot or being real with it, you shut down. And you're like, well, there's a million people out there. You download Hinge, you download a dating app, and you start dating other people. And people break up with people and they download an app immediately and do that. I have left the dating apps. I'm no longer on those. You won't find me on them. I think they're full of desperate people, and that the quality of the people on dating apps is not cute. Not only that, but usually they're always people who are desperate for love, which is why they're on a dating app. So they either just got out of a relationship, they're really looking for a relationship, or whatever. And it's crazy because the person I dated was like, I'm not looking for a relationship. I really wasn't. I wasn't on the internet. I was at work. They were flirting with me. And I just ended up reciprocating it because I convinced myself to. Hi. I'm problematic. Anyway, I make myself feel things just to make myself vomit, and that's crazy to me. But I wrote a lot of poetry over it, so I got something out of it. Also, I'm doing a gratitude list now all the time, so I guess I got 2 things out of it. It is what it is. It was a beautiful day today too. That made me feel really good, and I think that's where this weird energy is coming from, because I said this on Instagram earlier, but I have this depression right now that's like running on a sideline with me, but at the exact same time, Summer Sabrina is nipping at the back of my head right now, and she's like, let's go, kayaking, paddle boards, like, what are we gonna do this year? And I'm already planning my trips. And I'm like, Summer Sabrina, slow down. I have a lot to process right now. I have gone through a lot this week. And the last year was crazy. I lost my grandma. I lost my cat. I lost my home. I mean, and I had to cut off my entire family. And I watched my dad be as evil as I always knew he was. And I always knew it was going to happen. And I always knew it was going to be really bad. I just, didn't expect it to happen directly after a breakup, or that I was going to have to watch what happened to my grandma happen, or that would happen so quickly. I thought maybe he'd have a bit more decorum about it, but it did. And I lost a lot of my things in that process because my stuff was at her house also, but What was mine didn't seem to matter. What I paid for, what I owned, the things that belonged to me did not seem to matter. Everything in that house they had listed as theirs for sale. And, you know, I just, yeah, it broke me. I'm not gonna lie. It really broke me. Getting dumped, a 4-hour drive home, losing my grandma, watching him be happy in another relationship, fighting with my ex. I mean, watching my cat die, and my ex did come and he was with me for that, and that was nice. So we actually lost our cat on our anniversary date, which was really funny to us. It would have been like our 12 or 13, I think, anniversary, and he died that day, and we were like, that's so fucked. Like, imagine, like, it could have been any fucking day, and on 4/28 our cat dies, and it was hard. It was hard. We had breakfast together. We put him down, and yeah, and the entire thing just, like, it destroyed me. And then not even a week after that, I lost some more family, and, you know, I lost people who believed my dad's side of the story. I lost people who didn't feel like giving me grace during the time that I was healing and wanted me to do more and more for them. I have a family that's very good at asking for stuff, and I just was like, man, like, I fucking can't do it, man. I need help, and you guys aren't helping me, and you're so concerned about yourselves, and, like, fuck this. So I lost more family, and I had family that was commenting on my Facebook stuff that they had heard from my father, and I mean, the whole, all of the drama and the mess and the anger, and it just shit my life. It shit up my life. It shit everything up. I was doing so well. It was so great, and I was in Muskegon, and I was happy, and my bills were paid, and I was moving, and everything was wonderful, and I had a savings account, and I was building my credit again, and then it really just shit. And then prices go up, and I'm not getting a raise in my wage, and it's like, dude, what the fuck? There's just so much anger, and I'm like, so I'm glad now. I'm almost glad that this happened, because this new fresh pain, it almost kind of shook me from this. I was doing really well again, but I was very hardened in my heart and very angry with a lot, and still kind of reeling over that thing. So this fresh pain is definitely, I think, reevaluated a lot for me, and has maybe, like, nudged me again in the right direction, because when I got dumped and all that happened to me, it nudged me in a direction to ghostlight, and that's when I started doing music and poetry again. And, well, I've been doing music the whole time, but that's when I started doing poetry for the first time again, and I started writing more, and I kind of stopped doing the whole music thing for a while. I've just been focusing on writing, and so now I'm like, this has happened, but I was really inspired to write and do music, and there's all these things I want to say about what just happened to me, and I want to put it to the song, and I want to make the people around me proud, and you know, I want to accomplish shit. So that's where I'm at in life. That got really dark, I'm sorry, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was entertaining, and fuck that word, actually. I hope it was educational, and fuck the word fun. Also, if you use the word fun or entertaining to ever describe me again, I think I might just break your fucking face tonight. Anyway, so I hope it was intriguing, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will be back in a year from now. I'm kidding. I will come back. I will do more updates. I'm really sorry that I kind of just fell apart and then disappeared from the internet. I guess I was just kind of, like, not well, but yeah. So, and that's my cue to go. So thank you guys so much. Bye.